This is Postcard Storyteller, and I'm here to get ready for Postcard World Postcard Day, which is this November 1st. So, like last year, I want to start stamping my cards. I designed my card again this year. The first year it was the Chrysler Building, last year the Empire State Building, and this year I've decided to do Lady Liberty. So, it's actually the Statue of Liberty that we're doing. So one thing I did differently this year is that I did an imprint of the same photo at the back. I have the World Postcard Day logo over there, 250 printed. Of course, it says original photo taken 2018, artwork rendered August 2023 by Dina Gonzalez, and I am all set to swap other cards for this one. So let me just adjust. I need to make a slight adjustment for the camera. Bear with me. Okay, it's a bit of a mess here. Sorry. There you go. So we're focusing on us making the cards, and we'll be stamping them today. So first of all, you all know that in the US, the current rate is $1.50 for international, and we have 51 cents for the local rate. So what we're going to do is I have this beautiful old stamps from way back that I bought a while ago, and they're in different denominations. This is what we will use for our local mail outs. So I have a couple, maybe around 20 going out to US addresses. Everywhere else is going to be international. International mail right now is, if I am not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, $1.60. Right. We're going to have to check that shortly. Let me just check. I have been mailing out, so I'm not sure. First class rate is now 66. And let's see, first class rate international. It's been changing so quickly the last couple of weeks. So there was just a change, I think, somewhere in the summer. And now it's changed again. First class postage international. And let me just check. It's $1.50, right? Is that for real? It's $1.30. First class meal international is $1.50. Just want to make sure this was news from the most recent. Okay, $1.50 for the US, and then 51 cents for American postage. World Postcard Day happens on October 1st, and the idea really is for us to send the postcards then. But as it would happen, October 1st this year is actually a Sunday, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. So we're going to try to put together, this is already 11 cents, so we just need to put together 40 cents from my hoard. And let me see what I have. I'm not too sure that I have enough for everybody. Of course, I can always use my 10 cents, etc. So for example, I have 30 cents with this too, but I would need 10 cents. I have 13 and 8, which makes for the 11 cents. I will have to, however, compensate for the difference. So there is a difference, 6 cents. I know, not very organized, but I had to look for these stamps. Believe it or not, I lost them. And I actually had to go through my stacks of stamps. For the international, I have various combinations of forever first class stamps. Current rate, I think, for that is 66. I am so out of touch, I know. So I have these different denominations in smaller pieces because it's really a lot of fun to sort of jazz up what you send out. So if I do 3 of the 13 cents, that makes for 39, and I would still lack 39 for 51, 12 cents. So I'm thinking how reasonable, how practical it is to actually use the smaller denominations. I had actually ordered some, so I don't know if we should go ahead with the international first and do this all later. Because I have a bunch of US older stamps. There are sellers on eBay who sell them for a discount. So for example, total face value would be $20. They'll sell that to you for $17. So you end up saving. And you still get to do the variety that you want to achieve with your cards. Okay. So for the international, I bought this roll of flag stamps, which does the trick very well because it's small. So it gives me more space to write on. I also have my airmail stickers, which I want to put on the international stamps. I don't really have much space to put decorations on. So what I'm going to do is first unroll this roll of 100. And it's a little tricky. There you go. Nope, it did not hit the stamp, so we are happy with that. Okay, so you can see it's a roll of the Forever flag stamp. We're going to use that. And let me just go check again. So first class mail international is currently at $1.50. Okay, so $1.50, and with first class stamps being 60, first class is okay, international, it's $1.50, and I know you want to kill me. First class mail is first class mail is 66. So to come up with $1.50, we need 2, which will give us $1.32, and we need to make up for the difference with the smaller denomination stamps, which I have covered. So I have a variety here of first class stamps, which we are going to use along with the smaller denominations. A ton of the love. I don't need the 2. So since we're going to do 132, we need 18 cents. So we need the 4s. We need this. We need the 10 cents. Okay, I'm gonna get this ready. So we need the 10, the 4, so more of the 4 here, and the 10 cents. So this part is one of the things that I enjoy about preparing postcards, and that's getting the stamps ready on the postcards. You can also do 5 and 3, but I don't think I have enough 5s. So we have the 10 over here. We can do 4 of the 8, but that's going to eat up all the space I have. I don't have 3. If I had 3, I could do the 5s. I have 2. So it's really combining the stamps in a way that it makes sense. So we do have some 3s here. So some of them can do 1 3-cent, 1 5-cent, and 1 10-cent, and 2 forever stamps. So let me just get our stuff ready. Let me put this away since we're not doing the gummed stamps tonight. We are going to do that. And let me just get my other first class stamps. I really have a ton that I had collected through the years, but I have a lot of these forever cats. I still have the love. There you go. So you will do these first. And you'll jazz it up. So I already sort of prepared this. What we're going to do is, for example, okay, for this one, we are going to start with a flag stamp or the other. I want to use up this one's first, because for some reason I got stuck with a lot of those. Okay, so let's finish this pad of you can see, right? So if we do this, I just want to make sure that I'm on camera because I don't think I am. Okay, so I like putting it upside down because then I can see the edges. So this is how I basically put it. I would put it here. So we need 2 first class. These are 2 forever stamps. And then we're going to put one of the 10 cents. And 2 of the 4 or 2 of the 10. Actually, it's easier to do 2 of the 10, but we want to sort of make it nicer, so we'll do 2 of the 4s. So I think I can do it without hitting Lady Liberty and her torch. There you go. So that's our first. So the next one, yeah, we're going to be doing this for a bit. I hope you can stay with me. Okay, so one. Again, I like doing it from this end because then I can see the edge. It doesn't always work. I still slant it sometimes, like I did with this one. I do not collect stamps, but I consider them a means of decorating postcards, so there is added value to it, and I try to mix it up. Some people just put the global forever, which would retain the value of whatever we have for first class, but I want to use it to add value to what I'm sending. So there you go. 18. There we go. Okay, so we have 2. And so now we go to the other first. I prefer to use the smaller ones because the smaller ones will occupy less space and will give me more to write on. So again, we go to the end. We go with 1 flag. And 1 10 cents. And 2 of the 4. This might actually work. So the weird thing is, with the previous value of the first class stamp, you needed the same combination, so they didn't really deviate much, and we all know that everything's been getting more expensive. So the adjustments to postage are not really surprising. A lot of people are complaining because in other countries it's much cheaper, but we have to consider in other countries it's actually more expensive to send. For example, the United Kingdom, I think, is over €2, 2 pounds, which makes for practically $3 or $4 here on the stateside. So there you go, 10 cents. So last year, I think I was able to collect close to 100. I swapped out close to 100 postcards, and I found them recently. And yes, I am putting together a video, hopefully to show you the various designs, which I will put here. But I'm still working on it, and my fear is that I don't have everything I got. So I've been very disorganized with postcard trading lately, and I do apologize for that. I'm usually better at this, and I'm trying to be good with it this 2023. I have already received 2 postcards, which are really very heartening, and I have promised a lot, no, of most of my swap mates or the people I promised to swap with proof that of the postcard that I'm sending out after this weekend. We ask for proof because the other party wants to know that you are actually sending for real. There are people who commit to swap but who do not fulfill their end, and you don't want to be cheated of the postcard, the effort, and the postage, and then not get what you requested for. So during World Postcard Day, we usually swap out 4 postcards with a theme of the winning postcard design. This year's postcard design winner became controversial because it was discovered that they had actually used stock photography or a stock graphic, and it was a big scandal because the expectation was original artwork was going to be submitted. The weird thing is that the artwork wasn't particularly impressive, and yet it won. So you'd think that it had gone through a lot of curating or screening, and then somebody came up with an accusation that, hey, they actually there's a graphic that just misses one element, so this person who submitted that actually just changed one portion of the design, but basically stole it, and it was a stock graphic, which was sad because it would have, by the time it was called out, a lot of people had already started to print the winning design. So the winning design is available for everybody to use and print for free, not to sell. And people were beginning to call out for swaps and all that. And then they realized, oh my, it was recalled. So people ended up with postcards that had no home to go to. Post crossing, I heard, or the organizer also had requested everybody not to use that, but what about those people who had printed it? My stand, and this is my personal opinion, my stand about this whole business of the postcard design that got recalled, I think people should still be allowed to trade them away. I actually requested for one when I saw it offered in one of the forums that I am a part of. And I said, can I have that? Because I would want to have that infamous postcard that got disqualified. And I'm expecting at least one. I mean, if anybody who's going to watch this or is watching this ends up wanting to part with their cards, please feel free to send me a message on Facebook. I'm there as Postcard Storyteller. Same handle on Instagram. I am here in YouTube. I don't always check the comments. This is a passion channel. This is not my monetized channel. I am monetized under Pinay New Yorker. I have over 6,000 followers on that channel. But that is about New York. This channel is about my passion for postcards. So you can leave me a comment in any and just let me know. Again, I'd be happy. I have 250 of this card, not because I intend to swap it 250, but because it pushes the cost of the card down when you do 250 postcards. Last year, I think for World Postcard Day itself, I swapped just around 110, and that includes group swaps, also individual swaps that were arranged through Facebook groups. I sent 10 for post crossing itself, and I sent a lot for the Post Crossing Philippines group I am a part of. This year, I'm not intending to send as much for Post Crossing Philippines. I have arranged my swaps across 4 or 5 postcard groups. I didn't get too much from Instagram, although I published this design as soon as I got it. And then I'm thinking there will probably be around 10 more coming out. It's hard to compete with original designs when there are people who are trying to collect the series. For example, there's a Postal Hug series that's going around and everybody wants to collect that postcard sent from the country depicted. And although there is a USA, I don't even do the winning design because I use my own design. I like it because it has its own identity. I don't have to worry about it being a copy. Although, as a recipient, I don't really mind getting the same design. So, for example, this year's World Postcard Day design winner has been printed everywhere. I don't mind getting that. Last year, I got around 15 of the winning design in different textures, slightly different sizes. But what makes each card special to me is the person sending it. So I really appreciate it when people write more about themselves. Of course, the stamps, depending on the country it's coming from. And all that makes each card very unique and special. Okay. So, let me just tidy this up. So I don't only trade for World Postcard Day postcards. Some people actually offer other stuff. And by other stuff, I mean postcards not related to World Postcard Day. I am just so excited because of the varied designs that I have seen offered, and I'm excited to get my postcards from all over. I have arranged from Asia, from Europe, and different parts of the US. Some of them were original designs. A lot of them were store-bought or printed off of designs that were offered by artists. Like I said, the Postal Hug. I mean, I'd love to have the Postal Hug, but I really like, oh, look at that, I did that upside down. I really like seeing the designs from countries that have put out their own So that is very exciting to me. I'm going to jazz it up after I finish this pad of love stamps. So this is my one big splurge for swaps, because it involves like almost, if I get 100 and it's all outside, that's $150. Ouch. So as a result, I did not go buying postcards from the Metropolitan Postcard Group of New York that I am a part of. They always have a meeting every month. But every time I attend, I end up really splurging on postcards, because it's mostly vintage, but you can get vintage postcards for as low as $3 or $4, which is cheap, given that most of the time those retail for like $1 at least, or as much as $5 sometimes. There are gems. I mean, I've sat down and gone through boxes and boxes. There are gems of a find. Sometimes I'd find Philippine postcards, which of course are a passion of mine because I'm from the Philippines. And Philippine postcards are usually very expensive. Sometimes they retail for $3, $4, $5, $6, $10, depending on the subject matter. And I have found one or two from those bins, sometimes from the dollar bin. And I have a very small vintage Philippine postcard collection, but I'm trying to grow that. And I have more of modern. But when you say modern, it really runs the gamut of the last 30 years. So there's very few postcards or view cards that are being produced en masse like before, when National Bookstore was printing a lot of them. So it takes effort, but the nice thing is we have a lot of illustrators and artists who have been producing their cards, one of which is Doodle ni Maria, who is a friend of ours from our postcard group, and she really makes some very nice postcards, but they're illustrated. So if you're looking for view cards, you'd have to go elsewhere. But for illustrated postcards, I have found great joy in purchasing from her, because she really can render illustrations in watercolor very, very beautifully. I am looking for my 5 cents. I thought I took it out. I have the 3 here. Did I not take the 5 cents out? I see 4, 4, 4. There you go. 5 cents. Okay. So I want to change this up. Instead of doing 4, 4, 4, we're going to do 5 and 3. So here's the 5 cents. And I have 3 here. Then we're going to put, of course, 10 cents. Now, I'm not good in math, so my biggest fear is that, oh my God, am I calculating this wrong? So I might be, and you might be laughing at me. A cent or two is not bad, but if it was off by 10 cents, ooh, that would hurt. So I think one thing that has turned many people off or away from too much postcard trading is the cost of the postage. Postcards are available pretty much everywhere. It's really what becomes burdensome, excuse me, is the cost of postage. So even back then, when I started collecting over 40 years ago, The cost of postage was something that sort of hindered me from going full blast with postcard trades, because if you send them in envelopes, you tended to spend a little bit more, and when you sent them postmarked individually, international mail is still priced differently in the Philippines, so it still ended up costing a lot. So in the postcard group I am a part of right now, there are people who really cannot do all out postcard trading because sometimes they just don't have the budget, especially if you're a student. It's a little hard to devote a budget to postage and the acquisition of postcards and all that. But I have found great joy in postcard collecting. It has introduced me to some nice friends who share the same passion. It has shown me, before I started traveling and before I moved here to the US, postcards were literally my window to the world because it showed me places that I would otherwise not have been able to visit. So for that, I am eternally grateful to postcard collecting. It has been a source of joy. You know, it's so nice when you go home at the end of the day and you look at your mailbox and you see what postcards are there, and you read what's written at the back, and it's really a means of communicating with someone in a non-electronic way, in a very physical way, especially now that we're also used to getting text messages and just communicating through various media. um, Being able to hold something in your hand is a different experience altogether. I mean, I still love receiving letters, but very few of my friends will bother writing me. I have started writing letters that I never got to finish. Speaking of, I recently got invited to a letter writing social, which was very cool. Thank you so much, Doc Lila. Special mention to Lila Cool of Instagram. Um, I got a Zoom invite, and we all just listened to music and started writing. There was no theme. The point was you were asked to set aside time to actually write a letter. And I think a lot of us don't do that anymore. That is actually one of the goals I have set for myself for 2023, which is to write. I think my goal was a letter a month, and so far I've only written 1.5, which means I have 10.5 letters more to write. And I do intend to do that before Christmas. I love writing. I have a web web blog web, web blog which has been around since 2004. I think even earlier than that. And I've moved from one platform to the other. I used to be at blog.com. For a while I was in Multiply, and then Multiply shut down, right? And I'm now in WordPress, but you'll see my blog under my own URL. So yes, I've had a presence for a while, and I like writing stories, writing people, and just putting words to paper, taking pen and paper to write about things. So it shouldn't surprise you that I like doing postcards, because I try to communicate through it and learn from someone else through it. One project I want to see take off, but maybe not until next year, it depends, is to do a postcard a day project where I will write one postcard to myself, sort of like do a daily journal, but in postcards, and then put all those postcards together. 'Cause the truth of the matter is, as my postcard interests have become more specific, I have found a lot of postcards in my home that have no room in my collection. So, oops, I have to check. I think I've been messing up my 4 and my 5 cents. So like I said, I want to do that, and that shouldn't be hard because local postcard postage is only 51 cents. So in a week, it would get me $3.50, no, 7 times 6, $4 and 27 cents. So that should not be hard. And I want to use up some of the cards that I would otherwise give away. I was going to try and do it and send out to people, but then that's going to get expensive if the recipient is actually outside the United States. One time, I love writing so much, I was actually thinking of doing Patreon, where you get paid to do artsy stuff and produce whatever your artistic passion is, be it an artwork, a story, a photograph, whatnot. I was thinking of doing that, but then the problem is that much as I would like to devote time to this personal pursuits and this private passions, I have a day job, so I really can't. And I would rather pursue all of this as a passion project instead of it being a source of income or a what do you call this, a job. So I, I enjoy it more this way. So that was a thought, but the postcard a day I think should work. And then it's just like doing Instagram on postcards. You keep going and you do it one a day. It doesn't need to be related to what I'm doing for the day or writing about. It just needs to be about sending a postcard to myself. And then maybe at the end of the year, I can sort of pull all of that together and see what I've come up with. So that's in the back burner. Like I said, I've been wanting to do it, but just haven't been able to. Okay. I'm going to have to check if I did the right combinations for the postcards I've previously done, because I think me blabbing away here might have affected how much the calculating. And like I said, I'm not very good in math. Okay, time to change it up. I'm going to change to one of the smaller ones. Do I want to get rid of the Celebrate? No, I'm pretty happy with that. I love those postcards. I did see the elephant. Oh, here it is. Okay, we have quite a bit of that, so that would be nice to put. Okay. So I want to anchor the postcard on the first ones that I put down. There you go. And again, the flag. If I wanted to just be stingy with the space, I can very easily just use 2 of the flag postcards, but again, I want to use it as decoration for the postcard. So how has your weekend been? Mine has been relaxing. I didn't really get out of bed until noon, but I was editing. I was editing videos. I've been very focused on YouTube lately and really just got back to postcarding because of World Postcard Day. At first, I was dilly-dallying about getting my design together. I did the artwork, and then I printed it out, had it printed. For people asking which printer I use, this is a shameless plug. That does not get me anything. I am just recommending it because for people who want to print their own postcards, I want you to know Vistaprint has been very reliable for me. So all my postcards have been printed by Vistaprint. I design my own postcards, whether it's for this or for other events that I decide to print a postcard for. I do want to come up with a jeepney series because I have a ton of jeepney photos which I want to manipulate. And that's another dream of mine to be able to publish even just one set of postcards. So we're trying to finish up the elephant. I have 8 more. Okay, there you go. So the way you put the stamps also matters. I would do it across if it weren't for the fact that I did reprint of the design in semi-transparent mode at the back. Plus, I have all the stuff I put here, which is about the swap. Otherwise, I would have, I could have easily just put the stamps that way. I have my own quirks about decorating. I don't really like putting a lot of stickers. I also don't like receiving cards with stickers, especially the ones that are sort of embossed or protruding. There's a term for that which escapes me right now. So anyway, they're very pretty, don't get me wrong, but I like to hear more about the one sending. So in my local postcard group that I'm a part of, I've started a series of postcard writing prompts. Which reminds me, I haven't written the prompt for the day. Because people always say, oh, I don't know what to say, that's why I don't have anything to write. But you have to realize how frustrating it can be when we get postcards that have nothing written on them. Postcards that have just been addressed to us. So it's like, okay, thank you. So one of the postcard collectors in another group I was part of was asking, how do you say thank you for a postcard like that, where person signed and stamped, addressed, but did not write anything on the card. Stickers are fine, sure. People like decorating. Sometimes that's part of it. And for me personally, sometimes that's how I do it too. But if I draw or say or do artwork, it says something. So it's not just for the sake of putting decorations. I don't like the thicker stickers because I keep most of my postcards in albums, and that tends to ruin the postcard above and beneath the card where the sticker is, because it makes the sticker protrude. And like I said, pretty though your gemstones or rhinestones may be, I really would prefer to hear from you. Like, what do you do? Are you young? Are you old? Are you my age? How long have you been collecting postcards? Why do you collect postcards? Are there specific postcards that you fancy? Because you tell me that, and if I had what you fancied and I really liked your card, even without a swap, I'm going to send you that card if I have it. Oh, I was about to say earlier before I changed stamps, I think, I don't just trade for World Postcard Day cards. So there are countries and there are postcard collectors who do not have access to World Postcard Day cards. So I ask for stamps and I ask for stamps. No, I don't ask for stamps. Erase that because I was thinking stamps, sorry. I actually ask for maps or lighthouses. So if you don't have World Postcard Day postcards, if you have something nice to offer in those categories, we can trade. I used to be very relaxed about who I send postcards to. So sometimes I would get requests from people in far-flung places, provinces of India, Asia, all that. And they would request for postcards of New York. And sometimes I would agree even if what they're offering is actually not what I collect. So my big problem with that is that I tend to leave out those postcards and I really have no use for them. I mean, if you have very specific collecting interests like I do, you tend to stick to only that. So what do you do about the cards that do not fit the bill? I end up taking the stamps out, throwing them away, throwing the card away, cutting it up. And to me, that's very sad as a postcard collector. I really don't want to do that, but if you are not in my collecting sphere, I really have no use for the card that you send. So I have no other option but to do that. I just have to move on and get rid of it. So lately, I've been receiving some calls because they see, you know, I collect postcards. I'm from New York, and I just have to say no. So if even if they send me grand pictures of, say, tourist spots in their country, which other people would really find very, I'd say, enticing, I just say no now, because it's like, if there's no map or lighthouses, I'm sorry, but I will not have any place to put your postcard in, and it just adds to the clutter, which I'm now trying to avoid. In fact, I do periodic destashing, and I think I'm going to be doing one of those again before the year is out. And if I say yes just because I feel this person really, really wants to get a New York postcard, it will defeat the purpose of finding homes for the cards that I have no use for. Another thing I've started doing is I collect vintage postcards, and sometimes I buy blind lots, meaning you don't know what you're getting, but because it's cheap, like somebody advertises, say, 50 postcards for $20, which is not a bad deal for vintage postcards. And I'm just looking for other stamps. Give me a sec. And I say yes to that. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to end up with that card. Hold on. So with some cards that are not part of my collecting interest. So recently I had bought a bunch of, they were, I had bought a bunch of, what's this? Real photo postcards. Okay, so we're gonna use this swimming. And the problem was that some of them were just, they were real photo postcards, they were antiques, like the latest or the youngest of the bunch was probably 1930s. And I just offered, what I did was I offered them as a random act of kindness for my Philippine post-crossing group, just so they could see this is what we talk about when we say, this is what we talk about when we say real photo postcards. And they're off, they've been sent, so people have them. And I just hope that they enjoy it when they see it. They really like it. Okay, so it's gonna hit. Oh, it fit. Sometimes I do give stuff away. Especially for people who, for example, collect glue paper. I collect glue paper, but only the glue paper cards which have her signature. So every time I order from glue paper, I request her to sign 3 of, if I order a bulk of, say, New York cards. I had my last order for New York cards was actually, I think, 50. I still have a ton because that's very much in demand. I asked her to sign, so I have those postcards, and I have 3 of those signed. So those are the ones I collect. So a lot of Filipinos, and I told her this when she was trying to feel out the response to her doing countries. I said, you're very popular outside the United States, and she's not a postcard collector, so she doesn't know this. People actually request for your cards and go crazy with your new issues. So I told her, you know, people really love your cards. So I do stock up on glue paper, not for myself, but more for the people who like them. I offer them for swap for the items that I like. When I see a map postcard that's, say, in an international postcard group, chances are the ones offering it would agree or would love to get a glue paper postcard in return. So that's the reason why. I've thought about producing my own 50 states illustration maps, but it's too much effort. And again, I have a day job, so things like that, it's like you think about a lot of things you want to do, but the reality of it is it's not easy to pull off. And you end up like saying, oh, nice to do, but not really something I can pull off right now because that would take too much effort. I mean, maybe much later on in life, I don't know. But you know, I want to keep enjoying postcard collecting. So even when I'm not swapping or exchanging postcards with other collectors actively, I never really stop collecting. I always say that. I go to the museums, I go around postcard fairs or bookstores. When I go to a bookstore, the first thing I look for are postcard racks. And chances are, and even when I go, let's say, to a mall, when I'm in a different state or in a different country, I've found postcards in the strangest of places. For example, in clothing shops. One of the nicer Austin postcards that I bought was actually a map of Austin, and it was from one of their higher end clothing stores. Surprise, right? Which also happened to me in Hong Kong. I was shopping at the airport waiting for my flight, and one of the clothing stores actually was selling very nice postcards, and I came home with a bunch of those. Of course, bookstores are always very reliable, and well, you can't go wrong. Airports and souvenir shops. So that's where I usually get my postcards. Okay. After this, we're going to try to attempt to do at least one more of the rowers. Let's try to do a 51-cent stamp. I do have the postcard stamp, but the problem is that I don't want to use that because as a postcard collector, a lot of them will say, you could have done better. And I want to be the one that they say, ooh, nice stamps. I want my card to be the one that they say that too. Okay, so we're almost done. Okay, I've been talking for almost an hour here. Happiness. So I had to keep her doing the live stream because I was doing it with the wrong orientation and it had gotten so frustrating. Okay, so wait, these are, I think, 25 cents, in which case we only need 2 of these. Hey, there you go. Do I have at least 4? Yes, and then we can do two stamps. So like I told you, some people, there are stores on eBay that sell older American stamps and then they give it at a discount. So just to make it more, they're mint, so they've never been used. So that is really good. So I have here, these are gummed. So we're just going to put 2 of the 25 cents. And then we're going to find my 1-cent stamp, which I have. It's going to be the modern one. There you go. I love it. Even for regular mail from my postcard group. I'm part of Metropolitan Postcard Club of New York, like I mentioned. I love the way they really jazz up the stamps when they send out our newsletter. So I get like a quarter, sometimes a quarter of the envelope is covered with stamps because they're smaller denominations, and that to me is like such a thrill to get. Okay, we're gonna put the one. Oops, am I hitting the book? No. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we get 2. Let me just do that here. Okay, so I need to find other denominations. Let me just put this away first. Oh, we're gonna do the flowers later, I guess. Okay, so we did 2, and I have other stamps here. Oh, here, 15 cents. So we can do 3 of these and 1 6 cents, which I know I have. So we're going to do the smaller ones only because they don't occupy as much space. And I am looking for 6 cents. 6 cents, 6 cents. Where are you? 22, 22. We'll do the math later. 30. We can do 2 15 and then 1 22 or 21. Can I find 21 cents? I have 20 cents here. And if I can find 21 cents in my stash, that would solve my problem. Just a minute. Okay, for those of you wondering what I'm trying to do, I am actually preparing for World Postcard Day and trying to get my stamps stamped and ready for addressing. World Postcard Day is November 1, but we have to get our stamps ready way before that. So 32 cents, 33, okay, that all works, 22. Okay, so we're trying to come up with 51 cents for domestic. So I have 33. So I really need, I can do 18, but I'm going to be off. 33. Okay, wait, so 30 plus, if I can do 32 and 20. Okay, so I think these are still adhesive, so that works. We can finish this up. Okay, so we're going to do 32 and the 20 cents. I saw the 20 cents. Where are you? Not the 22, this is 15. So see, I had actually separated them. When they arrived, I ordered this from different vendors, so they were not fixed this way. Okay, so we'll do 32 and 50. So we're going to be, we have an allowance of 1 cent. Sorry. I told you these are gummed. Uh, 32. So even before the time that USPS went adhesives on their stamps, the gum has been very good. The way they did their stamps was very good and very reliable in terms of sticking. So the Philippine stamps, though, usually need a little help with some glue. Not complaining, you know, different standards, right? And then we're going to do the adhesive stamp. Okay. I mean, when it's like over by a cent, I don't mind, or even 2 cents actually. I don't really mind that. I just think it gives so much more character to the card. Okay. But this is a very pretty 32-cent stamp. See? I think this is a Shiloh. I think it's a Battle. If I must say, Philippine stamps have actually been improving a lot. If you're a stamp collector, you should check out the new editions that have come out. They are really worth collecting. So we're going to stop at 15 with this because I don't want to go extra. There's my next 32. I just need more of the 20 cents. Other side. Here you go. It's a little trickier to put on. I don't mind because it's like it's a bit of a mess, but you know, stamps are stamps. So again, this set is for domestic mail. Still have 2 of this. I put the airmail stamps after I put the address on because I don't want to end up running out of space, which can easily happen. So I just add a little water. That way it doesn't get all crinkly. And how many do we have? I need more of the 20. Where's the 20-cent stamps are missing? I had them here. Well, I can do 30 and then the 22. Okay, so why don't we do that? We'll do this. And I have the 22 stamps there. 22 cents. And these are rather nice. I think I want to use the, okay, Camp 5. This is pretty. So most US addresses will fit in that, so I don't have a problem putting it that way. So we have 2 to 15. There you go. Okay. I want to finish out the 15 cents, and that should be good. Maybe we can use, oh, look at these beautiful horse stamps. So we're going to use this. Starting to stick. So how do we arrange for these exchanges? We are part of Facebook groups or maybe through our Instagram accounts, and we advertise what we want to offer for trade and tell people what we're looking to trade for them. And that's how you essentially get your swaps arranged. You're supposed to show proof or the name, a card with the name and address of the person you're sending to indicated. And that's supposed, because things do still get lost in the mail. So you do that, and then they can say you didn't send. Okay. So when I arrange for swaps on Facebook, I change the nickname to distinguish it from everybody else I'm speaking with on that account. I indicate it as, let's say, Anna WPD 2023. Then when I send out the card, I put an asterisk, and then when I receive the card, I write complete. So that way, I always know I got my cards from this person, and that person no longer owes me. Oh, this is so pretty. Look at that. It's a postcard of steamboat. No, steamboat. Steam train. Steam engine train. From way back, 1839. So, yeah. So this will go with this. So I'm thinking, do I stop now? I don't think I'm done. I can go back to the international first, or maybe do more of the, because I'm just afraid that I will end up doing too much for the US stamps. Let me just put the single, the 1 cent stamp before I forget, because this like 25. Oh, that's only 50. Yeah, we actually need the 1 cent stamp, which I have that. It's the Tiffany lamp. Here you go. So we're just going to add that to make it complete. There you go. So let's just count how many US stamped cards I've pulled together. Oops. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe we should make it 20. One of yours I might not have enough. So, oh, let's do something nice. We're going to try to do the $1.50 with the smaller stamps. Oh, a lot of people are going to have fun with that, because that's something like especially postcard collectors or stamp collectors would want. So, but let me just, I need to lay this out so that it dries. I'm going to try to do like 1 or 2 that way, so that there's some variety to the stamps. We're going to look for the bigger stamps that we have. I'm thinking no. Nope. We have the flowers anyway. Okay. So, like I said, I have decided we will go with the flowers for the next batch. Let me just put away my, okay, which I now messed up. They were together. I will fix them later. Okay. So let's do the next batch using the flower stamps, which I found. Where is it? Here you go. Okay, we have 2 here and a couple here, so we're going to finish that. Okay. So, again, we're going to mix it up with the flag, because that's what I bought the flag for. There you go. I might even start addressing them tonight. There have been people requesting for proof because they want to send their cards out already, and they will not send unless I send proof that I have prepared, at least prepared their card. So that's the way postcard swaps go. Hold on. Okay, I need 10 cents, which I now cannot find. I have 5, 10, and this, and this, and this. See? Some nice stamps. We'll do the love next. Well, I want to finish this first because I'm just afraid I don't really need all that. So, I need a 10 cents. And we can do 2 of the 4. Excuse me. There you go. Oh, my neighbors are up. I don't know if you can hear the muffled talking. I think they have a party happening downstairs. Somebody's doing all the talking though. I hope it's not as loud. Okay. Do 2 of the 4. So like I said, I prefer receiving the card with a message. I know it takes effort, but see, that's the point. That's why it makes the postcard more meaningful. And what did I put? Yep. So I do write, so it takes me time to send it out because I do really write. I don't just send it out. Okay, I want to make sure forever. No, it's this way. You know what's funny? Sometimes you can't figure out from the design which way it's supposed to go. So I know I haven't done 100 because I haven't finished the coil. We started with this coil, and this coil has 100 stamps. I mean, if I wanted to sort of save time, I can just do 2 10-cent stamps. But that means I lose out on 2 cents. And why do that when you have the exactly the denominations that you need to complete postage for what you're trying to send out, right? Doesn't make sense. So yeah. So we're gonna keep doing this for a bit. Doing 2 4s. And a 10. Oh, look at that. We have a 10 over here. I'm trying to cover that side because that's where my address is. So where's the flower? Here we go. So at least I'm going to be able to breathe easy tomorrow morning because I'm going to have had the chance to do most of this, and we're going to just have to start with writing on the postcards. Well, let me do the 5 cents and the 3. And then the 10 cents. So 18 plus 1, 32. So the problem with using the older stamps on this one is it's going to fill up the whole left side, and it's not going to leave much to write on once we do that. And then we do 5, 10, and 3. 5, 10, and 3. Sorry, someone's messaging. To continue. Okay. And where is the flower? Where is that flower? Post. Where's the stamp? There you go. Okay, so I just want to finish this deck. And this 10, and of course we're going to do either 4 4. I want to do the 5s and the 3 because we want to finish the deck. So once I'm done with the flowers, we're going to stop. Oh, I have like 6 more. Right, where is that? Yep. We have 6 more. I'm going to finish this. And I needed 10 cents to complete that. Okay, just need to make sure that I've done this row well. There you go. So the previous year, I actually typed my addresses, but this year I think I'm going to write most of them because that way I can control the sizing. Okay. Mm-hmm. And where's my 10 cents? I suspect I should be good and covered after I finish at least 100. I haven't done 100 though, because the row is still there. I can just continue this, I guess, later on a need basis. Because what I'd hate to overstamp, meaning prepare too many cards and then not have recipients for it. Most of my recipients are recorded in my Messenger app, but I do have a spreadsheet, so I have a record, not of addresses, but maybe this year I'll start doing that. I have a record of who I've swapped with, so although, you know, Messenger does that pretty well too, they keep the history, I don't really delete. So what happens is there are people I have exchanged postcard with for say the last 3 years. So when I write them, I just say, hey, can we swap again? And for the most part, people I write or request cards from have said yes, except for those who are very specific and, you know, want to choose from their collecting interests. I mean, it's a swap opportunity. You can actually demand what you want because people are ready to, respond in kind. So let me just, okay, I think we've done quite a bit. Am I really going to count this, or am I just going to keep stamping? Let's just see if we have at least, because I know for a fact that for the Philippine postcard group alone, I have around 20 or 25 I'm sending to. So let's do 10. 30. 40. 51. So that should be good, and then I'll just add later if I have to. So these are US only, and I have around 20, I think, of the, oh, these are the US only, and that's the international. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oops. So we only did 15. This one I think I will end up doing just a little more. There are a lot of, like in previous years, I swapped with around 30, 40 American addresses or US-based swaps. Okay. So what do you say we do? I think I can do another 20 just to be sure. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, Let's do another 20, just to be sure. And I do think I have the 20 in my roster. Okay. I have these love stamps. These were the love stamps of last year. The love stamps of this year was the puppy and the kitten. So now we're going to put that on the other side. So if we did 2 4s, you can do it this way. So even the postage has placing. Sorry, I'm off camera now. And here's my 10 cents. I always try to stock up on the smaller denominations because when postage would increase, it usually required additional smaller denomination stamps. So as the pricing changed through the years, I found myself saving up on 10 cents, 4 cents, and all that. Hold on. Okay, why can't I find my 10 cents now? So there was really a time that was the stamp that needed to be added. So I got a ton of that. So 2 additional ounce. So I have the 4s here. Where are my other 10 cents? So I think I might have gotten buried here. See, I have the postcard stamp, see. I actually have it, but now I need the 10 cents, which for some reason I can't find. I can do 2 5s, sure, but that's going to occupy so much more space, and I really don't want to do that. I feel like I'm missing a whole bunch. Okay, I might have to stop here because I have to look for the stamps I'm missing. I'm missing my 10 cents additional. Like I said, I can do 2 5s, but that's going to overload the postcard. And I don't really want to do that, but now I think I have to. That is so strange. I can't be out of 10 cents. For the longest time, that was the stamp that I had a ton of. Although, I don't really... Interesting. So, what we can do is do 2 5s. Dilemma. I don't really want to do this. But I'm going to put this. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to stop because I really can't find my 10 cent stamps, which I now really need. And I thought I had enough of that. Apparently not. See, I have, these are Philippine stamps. And 3 1 cent stamps here. Okay. So cents. Oh my goodness, I don't know where it went. So I have to look for my 10 cents or get more of the 10 cents. But I guess that's it for now. I'm going to have to wait for my additional. I could have sworn I had more than enough of the 10 cents. It's just stashed somewhere. I have this very bad habit of organizing my stamps, and then when I start doing swaps like this, I end up taking them out of the usual stash and then failing to put them back, so they end up in different batches. So I think that's what happened to this one. I even have the coffee. I don't have the 10 cents. Let me just put one of these because it got loose. Okay. So if I don't have the 10 cents, although I can do the postcard 51, too much math. Okay. So that's that. I have 2, 2, 2. I need to get this organized, so I'm going to have to say goodnight. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I am grateful that you kept me company and that you're watching this. I hope that you are able to get a lot of beautiful cards for World Postcard Day. I know I did last year. Watch out for my video on that. And I hope that everybody who does World Postcard Day this year gets a lot of meaningful exchanges or swaps. Thank you so much for watching. This is Gotham Chick, Pinay New Yorker, and postcard storyteller as the postcard collector. I will bid you good night now while I look for my 10-cent stamps. I have a ton of the 4, but I need the 10 to complete that, and I can't find them right now. So I will come back another day. Thank you so much for watching, and happy World Postcard Day on October 1st. Good night.